The diplomatic hall of Station Kepler 442 fell silent as Ambassador Elsa Chen walked through the towering crystalline doors. Behind her, Lieutenant Farrat Singh carried a data tablet, his eyes scanning the assembled aliens with practiced military precision. The Vrex delegation, massive reptilian beings with obsidian scales and razor-sharp teeth, occupied the left side of the chamber. Their young were kept in a separate containment area, visible through reinforced glass. Protocol dictated it. Vrex cubs were apex predators from birth, capable of tearing through steel before their first molt. The humans arrive, hissed Ambassador Thexerel, his vertical pupils narrowing. Small, fragile. How did such prey creatures reach the stars? Elsa smiled politely, having heard variations of this greeting on 17 worlds. Ambassador Thexerel, it's an honor.
Shall we discuss the mining rights treaty?
The negotiations proceeded slowly. The Vrex spoke in deliberate, threatening tones, not from malice, Elsa had learned, but because their language evolved from hunting calls. Every sentence sounded like a death threat to human ears. 2 hours in, a sharp alarm pierced the chamber. Containment breach. A Vrex attendant's voice crackled through the comm system. Sector 7. Through the observation window, Elsa saw a small shape dart from the shattered enclosure. A Vrex cub, no larger than a German shepherd, streaked across the polished floor with terrifying speed. Its scales were still soft and blue, a juvenile perhaps 3 months old. The assembled aliens scattered. Vrex adults backed away instinctively. Their young were notoriously aggressive, attacking anything that moved until properly trained. The Zentari delegation teleported out entirely. Even the armored Krill security personnel activated their energy shields. Elsa, move! Farrat reached for his sidearm, but weapons were forbidden in the diplomatic chamber. The cub charged directly at her, its crystalline eyes locked on the movement of her jacket hem. In Vrex society, nothing stood still when a predator approached. Nothing except prey too terrified to run. But Elsa didn't run. She turned toward the cub calmly, kneeling to make herself smaller. The creature pounced, its needle-sharp teeth clamping down on the corner of her weatherproof jacket with a triumphant growl. Got you, Elsa said softly. She stood up. The cub dangled from her jacket, still gripping the fabric with determined jaws. Its legs kicked in the air, tail lashing, but it refused to let go. Its pride wouldn't allow retreat. Elsa looked at the shocked faces around the chamber, aliens who could crush steel, who had conquered worlds, who had evolved at the top of food chains that made Earth look peaceful. And she smiled. Ambassador Thexerel, she said, voice steady despite 40 pounds of furious predator hanging from her coat. I believe this is yours? The hall erupted. Not in screams or panic, but in laughter. Deep, rumbling Vrex laughter that sounded like avalanches. The chittering of Zentari who had rematerialized just to witness the spectacle. Even the stoic Krill security chief made a sound that their translators rendered as extreme amusement. Farrat stood frozen, his hand still hovering over his empty holster, watching his commanding officer casually walk toward the Vrex delegation, with their most dangerous offspring dangling like a stubborn puppy. She just... Farrat couldn't finish the sentence. Ambassador Thexerel approached carefully, his massive frame moving with newfound respect. Human Elsa, the cub could have injured you severely. Your species lacks armor, venomous response, or natural weapons. Why did you not flee? Elsa gently pried the cub's jaws open and handed the squirming creature to its caretaker. The cub immediately calmed in familiar hands, though it kept its eyes on Elsa's jacket. Ambassador, on Earth we have a saying. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. She straightened her jacket. This little one has spirit. I respect that. But the danger was minimal. Elsa pulled out her data tablet showing thermal scans she'd been monitoring. Juvenile Vrex have soft teeth until their second molt. Strong enough to grip, not to pierce. Your cub was playing, not hunting. The body language was entirely different. Silence fell again, but this time it carried weight. You studied our young? Thexerel's voice held something new. Wonder. I study everyone I negotiate with, Ambassador. Your species, your biology, your culture. It's only respectful. She glanced at the cub now purring in its caretaker's arms. Besides, Earth has similar apex predators. We learned long ago that understanding them is better than fearing them. We turned our wolves into dogs. Our greatest predators became our greatest companions. Farrat finally found his voice. Sir, did you plan that? No, Lieutenant. But I've raised 3 children and fostered 4 rescue dogs. I recognize play aggression when I see it. Ambassador Thexral's scales rippled, a Vrex gesture of deep respect. The galaxy believes humans are weak because you lack natural weapons. We see now this is incomplete data. We don't have claws or fangs, Ambassador. Elsa met his alien gaze without flinching. We have something else. We observe, we adapt, we endure, and we never ever stop trying to understand. The laughter had faded, replaced by thoughtful silence. The treaty, Thexral said slowly. We will revise our terms. Equal partnership, not the protective arrangement we proposed. That would be acceptable, Elsa replied diplomatically, though inside she felt the familiar satisfaction of victory. Not through weapons or threats, but through the very thing that had lifted humanity to the stars. Understanding, courage, and the willingness to kneel before something dangerous to see if it just wanted to play. As the negotiations resumed, Farhat leaned close. Ma'am, you scared me more than the cub did, Elsa grinned. Good. That means I'm doing my job right. From across the room, the Vrex cub watched the strange furless creature who had held it in the air without fear. In its developing mind, a new concept formed, one that would spread through Vrex society for generations. The humans were small, fragile, soft, but they were not prey. They were something far more dangerous. They were fearless, curious, and kind in equal measure. And the galaxy would never underestimate them again.